Hello, everyone. It is a Wednesday. In fact, April Fools. But we don't have anything to fool you about. It's just the same old supernatural news and Parashare. Hi there, folks. The only thing I have to fool you about is I got no Mally Fox. she's gone this week, but I do have a special surprise for you. April Fool, she became a guy. No, she didn't. I have the combat rev here. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him in right away. I need my forehead smoochies.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Oh, there he is, the combat rev himself, Travis Thorpe. Hiya, sir.
Hiya, Tim. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I should say this is Darkness Radio. It's a supernatural news and Parashare on a Wednesday. Have you fooled anybody today?
I mean, just myself. I keep telling myself that I'm handsome and strong and young and virile, but I'm getting old and decrepit.
I do that to myself every day. How I start my morning out. Look in the mirror and I go, look at those guns.
Yeah. There he is, sexy.
There he is. Young and virile and sexy. I call myself the Zorro Zaddy, and then I go my day. Then I laugh and I laugh and I laugh, and my hernia twists and I hit the ground.
I tried to schedule all of my VA medical appointments for today, but they told me no. I got one actually scheduled a month ago for today, and then they rescheduled it. And I was like, you jerks. You're taking away all the fun.
Yeah, nobody will take an appointment on April 1st, will they? Because they're afraid if they give you bad news, you won't believe it.
Yeah. Silly people.
I don't know what that is. I guess it is what it is. Big show today, folks. As you're listening to this, we are either on the moon or it's gone terribly wrong. Either way, it either could happen. Actually, we're not on the moon. We're circling the moon. That's what Artemis II is. So don't think that we're going to land on the moon today. We're not. We're circling it today. Kind of like we're ready to do a drive-by on it, but not right. We're just menacingly going around it and be like, you, I see you, and then we come back. Yeah. That's what we were doing.
We're just going to satellite orbit it.
It's kind of like we're the moon stalker. Like, someday I'm going to invade you, girl. We're going to the moon. Yeah. Today.
Just licking the lips and rubbing the hands together.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, girl?
You're never going to see it coming, girl. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna plant my flag on your crater.
That's right. Someday I'm gonna be your daddy, and we're gonna have a little base together. I don't know what that means, but yeah. So that's what we're doing with the moon.
Call him Little Artie.
Yeah, we're gonna call him Little Artie. We're gonna have all kinds of little soldiers together.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh.
It sounds so dirty, doesn't it?
We're getting there already, and it's not even the.
I know, we haven't even started. We're already there. So that thing's going on today. What else? Oh yeah, we got of course we got some AI news today. We got a little bit of that today. It's a little disturbing. The AI news, I'm not gonna lie. Some man has turned himself into a half human, half robot centaur. I'll tell you about that today. We're jumping into it today there, Combat Rev. We are.
Oh.
I told you, I promised it would be an adventure today. I'm not lying about that.
Yeah, I'm never disappointed. This is always good.
A woman claims a near-death experience gave her supernatural powers. Let's test her, shall we?
Sweet.
Yeah. So we got that on the way today. The Pope has met with a delegation of exorcists over an acute rise in occultism. It's the story most of you have sent me the most this week. So evidently you guys are concerned about this as well.
Why doesn't the Pope just meet with me?
Right? Cut out the middleman. Just meet with the combat rep. We can all get together and figure this thing out together.
I'll give him a forehead smoochie.
Yeah. Right to my cousin's forehead. Evidently, the remains of a real-life musketeer of Artenian have been found in the Netherlands. So yes, Virginia, the 3 or 4 Musketeers, depending on what you believe in, are real. And they make a hell of a chocolate bar. And our palate cleanser today is twofold. And guess what, kids? You too can own a wild animal. Just like your buddy here.
Please be a raccoon. Please be a raccoon.
You'll find out exactly what it is at the end of the program. But first, let's talk about how we're going to slide our flag into that luscious, luscious moon that's out there, huh? Yeah, girl.
Are they going to at least spit on it first?
I don't know. However you want. I say just raw dog it and throw it in there. You know what I mean?
No, you got to be a good, gentle lover to the moon, Tim. That's how you get invited back.
Oh. Well, sometimes the moon's just asking for it, Rev. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes it's just like, just put it in, Daddy. Just
the way she's glowing.
Yeah. The way she's up there smiling at me. Just like, come on, give it to me hard. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, what?
I'm gonna plant that flag, baby.
Oh, I'm gonna shove these stars and stripes so deep inside you. Huh?
Start a whole new genre. just wild videos of dudes and rocks. I don't know if I'm ready for that world, Tim.
Pornhub has a whole new subgenre right now, doesn't it?
You know, I had a Canadian friend that once told me they have such thing as pterodactyl porn, and I was not disappointed.
What?
It exists.
What?
It's real. And I almost died laughing. It's a thing. Yep.
Huh? Really?
Oh, I'm gonna wait for your birthday and I'm gonna send it to you, and you're not gonna expect it.
Well, August isn't that far away, my friend. Oh, I can't wait. NASA has made their final preparations for today's manned moon mission, if you know what I mean. It's got to be a man moon mission. Why can't a woman mount that moon? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it's 2026. Give it the times.
Yeah, right? I'd like to see a little woman on moon action.
So
I might bust out my credit card for that.
So they're gonna launch this thing and just orbit the moon, even though we've allegedly landed there multiple times, right?
Yes.
Like
this is just the drive-by. This is just the stalking phase.
Scoping out the neighborhood.
Yeah. We're just taking a good look at her round bottom this trip.
Oh.
As we circle the moon, we're just like, girl, you look good today. That's this phase. Yeah.
I mean, it might be a good time to start investing in NFTs on the moon.
Oh, yeah. Thing round like a peach, girl. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of that. Although the Canadian astronaut that goes with is the one that's going to be like, sorry, as we yell at the moon from its orbit.
Oh, sorry there, bud.
Sorry, bud. Sorry. We respect your roundness. We didn't mean to be so abrupt.
So sorry about all my American friends here. They're all liquored up right now, and they're just jonesing.
Yeah, they don't get out to space very often. Yeah. Would you like a Molson's? Got plenty.
Hey there, buddy. I'm not your buddy, pal. I'm not your pal, friend.
It's looking extremely likely that we're about to witness the first manned moon mission since 1972. At least after we get done circling that thing. As the enormous silhouette of NASA's Space Launch System sits stark against the rising sun. God, we're setting the scene really well, aren't we? There's great excitement in the air and the sense that something extraordinary is about to happen. You know what's going through my head right now? You remember the song Crash by Dave Matthews Band?
Ooh, crash into me, baby. That one?
Yeah. And then you sing the rest of it.
No, because then you're going to get a copyright infringement.
And I come into you. I come into you. Sorry, did I finish that? Yes, I did. All over the moon, baby. As the enormous, I read that part already. Sorry, sometimes I like to finish twice.
As the hard, enormous rocket.
Hard, enormous rocket crashed into the moon. Yeah. At around 6:24 p.m. Eastern time today, Artemis II is expected to launch on what will be the first manned mission on the moon. Since, again, this story is not portraying it accurately. It's not going to be a manned mission. It's going to circle the moon.
I mean, it's still a manned mission to the moon, just not a manned mission on the moon.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like they're at first base. They're doing first base with the moon, right? This is, like your first prom dance with the moon.
This is the over the crater action, is what you're saying? So it's the first manned mission to the moon since the Apollo era ended over 50 years ago. Where were you 50 years ago? I know where I was.
Not alive.
Make me feel old here. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, and Christina Cook, as well as Jeremy Hansen of the Canadian Space Agency. He'll be bringing all the sticky stuff to use on the moon, if you know what I mean, because they make all that in Canada.
Syrup.
Lots of syrup. By the way, as I'm reading this story, take a look at who's looking back at me. It's
it's just setting you up for failure.
I know, really. I have this picture of this gorgeous woman named Celeste looking at me, and she's like,
Tim, I gotta tell you, you're a victim of your own algorithm.
I am. She's like, read to me more, Daddy, please. Well, they won't be landing on the lunar surface. Thank you for pointing that out finally in the story. They will spend several days orbiting the moon before returning to Earth. So they'll just be teasing it, and then they'll leave.
So they'll fake all this in a film studio somewhere too, or what?
Yes. Yeah. I wonder if they can't get Kubrick because he's dead. I wonder who's going to do this. Probably Spielberg, right?
Spielberg will
do this one. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So they'll spend several days orbiting the moon before returning to Earth, something nobody has done in almost 3 generations. Bullshit. Despite various technical setbacks and delays, it's looking like the April 1st launch date will hold up, with forecasts currently predicting an 80% chance of favorable weather conditions. Now, as we're taping this on Tuesday, they did a 2-hour pre-launch press conference. It was at least 2 hours. And boy, did they have the nerdiest meteorologist on the planet go over everything weather-related: Earth, space, sky, solar, and everything's ready for launch. In fact, today, as you're listening to this, is probably the most favorable day to launch ever in the history of launches. That's all I get. I'm summing up what he said in about an hour and a half, because he went on for an hour and a half with charts and graphs and Doppler radar and everything.
They should have got your friend Celeste there to brief everybody. Then they would all been paying attention.
Oh my God. But by the way, let me just go a little further down on Celeste, if she doesn't mind. Let me show you exactly why everyone would pay attention to Celeste if you're watching the video. My God, I would pay attention to Celeste if she gave me solar.
I don't know how to tell you, but that's AI.
I don't care. I'll look at it. She can AI all over me if she wants. AI, AI, AI. Thank you. It says some Mexican loves. I love anything Mexican that makes me. It got me thinking. If I can take a side journey here,
Yeah.
for a moment. Okay, so this weekend was my nephew's birthday. Speaking of being old, my nephew turned 25 this weekend, and so I FaceTime him, and he's holding his son, right? And he's feeding his son. I'm thinking, my God, I'm old. um, but and I thought to myself, I think I've missed the boat. I think too much focus on me, not enough on, or too much focus on thee, not enough on me. I never got to have, well, I lost one of my own about 23 years ago, but I never had the chance to really have another one. I mean, we threw the party, but another one didn't show up, right? Mm-hmm. Probably didn't focus enough on trying to have another one. But by God, if Celeste would have showed up, but from Mexican Loves, I think we probably would have knocked that one home, right? But yeah, I thought to myself, maybe I should have focused harder on that deal.
Tim, speaking as somebody with 3 terrorists, how do they always say it? The grass is always greener, because
Mm-hmm.
here I am about 20 years into adulthood of raising children, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got one in college, one in elementary school, and one just about to start preschool. I am this close. For those listening right now, I'm holding up the imaginary inch, I am this close to finally having the illusion of sovereignty again. And having a little bit of my life back. And I'm so excited. But yet I am now at this age where like my body is sacrificed and like decrepit. And I'm like, I have literally given all of the best years of my life to raising children. And very untypically, like most men, I'm the one at home rearing them. And so, like I know what most women feel like, being stay-at-home moms. I'm a stay-at-home dad, and it drives you crazy. And I can't wait to be an adult again. But then I know it's a whole different world. And so you get one or the other. You either get to focus on yourself, or you have to be completely selfless and completely give up on yourself, and just your entire focus is elsewhere. You have to be one or the other. You don't get a choice. You don't get to mix it. Ladies and gentlemen, as he's holding up the AI Mexican woman Celeste yet again, he is proving that it doesn't matter.
She says to you, "Please, senor, would you mix it in me?" Sure, why not?
As he says, I want 38 little hot tamales running around. Daddy, I'm hungry. I want a snack. Let's watch Bluey. I need more milk.
You got to consider, I'm on the back 9 of my life. I don't give a shit at this point. I'll do anything. I don't care.
So for any hot Latina ladies that are listening right now that would like your American citizenship, please reach Tim Dennis at darknessradio.com. Again, at Tim Dennis at darknessradio.com.
That look like Celeste. Holy shit. Wow.
You don't have to be lonely at darknessradio.com.
Pull down the dungeon door here to get my microphone back. It has to be. There we go. All right, back to the story. Despite various technical setbacks and delays, it's looking like today will hold up, with forecasts currently predicting an 80% chance of favorable weather conditions. Like I said, the geek who went on for an hour and a half says so. So it probably, by the time you listen to this, will be official. If all goes well, the mission will be followed within the next few years by Artemis III, although, as we read last week, it's probably not even going to be that long. They're really pushing this timetable along. An unmanned technical demonstration is what they're saying Artemis III will be. And Artemis IV, which is actually supposed to be the first actual manned lunar landing, where they're going to plant that flag so deep in the moon, boy, it's going to scream for days.
But are they pulling out?
Probably not. They're probably going to leave that thing so deep inside it that it's going to need surgical retraction.
We've lost half the audience today.
Well, yeah. All eyes will be on Cape Canaveral today as the astronauts get ready for the trip. So there you go. Now, we're finally going to get to the second story, and we're only 20 minutes in. So look at that. We're really just cruising along on this show today. Now, with that, keep in mind that NASA has canceled the Lunar Space Station in favor of a more ambitious plan. And God damn it, look who is in the second story. She won't leave me.
Celeste, she's listening.
I'm just saying.
At this point, just print her picture and frame it. We're going to Photoshop you two together. Matter of fact, anybody listening right now, go ahead and feel free to go ahead and extract that photo after it goes on YouTube and start Photoshopping Tim and Celeste together in different marital photos of them getting married in Maui.
Put together a wedding album for us. I think at this point, just call us Mr. and Mrs. Celeste. So the long-awaited Lunar Gateway space station's been scrapped, evidently, but will be repurposed for something else. With that first manned mission around the moon, Artemis II still on schedule for today, at least as far as we know. I mean, we may be... it seems that NASA has been thinking long and hard about... See, long and hard. I said long and hard about the future of lunar exploration. Well, there has been plans to place a permanent orbital outpost around the moon to act as a stepping stone for future manned missions to the lunar surface. New NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman has now revealed that this won't actually be going ahead as planned. Instead, the space agency will work up to set a base on the moon's surface, a process that will take around 7 years and will reuse some of the Lunar Gateway's already completed components. It should not really surprise anyone that we are pausing Gateway in its current form and focusing on infrastructure that supports sustained operations on the lunar surface, Isaacman told attendees at a recent event at NASA's headquarters in Washington, D.C. Despite some of the real hardware and schedule challenges, we can repurpose equipment and international partner commitments. We talked about this last week, the fact that there's international partners involved here and that you're not really making a pure land claim up on the moon, to support surface and other program objectives. As things stand, it isn't clear exactly what these changes will mean for a manned space program moving forward, especially given that Lunar Gateway had aimed to enable easier access to the moon's surface, perhaps the most important thing needed to build a base there. Which vehicles will be used to transport astronauts to and from the base also remains unclear. It wouldn't shock me if we see the space shuttle come back.
Like Columbia or what?
Something like it. I'm not saying the exact form of the space shuttle, but something new and improved.
I kind of agree with you on that. If you look at what was it, Blue Origin and what they were doing with SpaceX, right? With these orbital rockets that took us into orbit and then came back down and landed again, right? There had to have been like a secret bid out there of like, okay, engineers, we're trying to solve this problem for 10 years in the future, right? Like have at it, right? Yeah. Whoever has the best proof of concept wins the government bid.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we're probably going to see like penis-shaped rockets that are going to be landing themselves and from the moon and back.
If you could take that rocket concept that you're just talking about, added to something like a glider where you could, we could bring it in and out. Here we are with the moon concept again. But
Could land in the wet ocean.
yeah, the wet oceans of the moon, just glide right in there. You know what I mean? Astroglide, if you will. But be able to, because that way, then if you had something like a bigger shuttle that had a bigger payload, bigger payload to come into the moon, then you'd be able to bring supplies up as well, and be able to bring supplies back. So my thought, again, piggybacking off of last week's discussion, is that if you're manufacturing some stuff on the moon, you could start to shuttle things back and forth.
Well, and I think so far the only thing that has the thrust capacity to get things up there is the Falcon 9. The Falcon 9 is really the only thing that's got that thrust that can really get it out there with a big payload.
Yeah.
Is it this unhinged when Mally's on?
Never it. No, I just think she won't loosen up enough for me to get it in there. What? Anyway.
I'm always loose for you, Timmy.
I think JD Vance has something to say about this. The word demons.
Diamonds.
Speaking of JD Vance, he is in our next story. Actually, this isn't the first time. I think JD Vance may be in league with one of our guests that's been on this program. JD Vance, by the way, is still obsessed with UFOs. He claims that aliens are demons. Not an unusual school of thought, because we've had guests on this program that believe as well. And it's not an unusual school of thought. Let me throw to the story and tell you what JD Vance thinks. The vice president recently reiterated his interest in the phenomena and elaborated on what he thought about it. Around a year ago, we reported that JD Vance had stated during an appearance on the Ruthless podcast that he was obsessed with UFOs and was keen to solve the mystery. Fast forward 12 months, and it seems his curiosity has only deepened since then. He said this week on Benny Johnson's podcast, "Trust me, anybody who's curious about this, I'm more curious than anybody, and I've got 3 years of the very tippy top of the classification." Oh, now he's flexing. Look at that. He says, "I'm going to get to the bottom of it." This time, however, Vance did delve a little deeper into what he actually thought UFOs were. "I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion," he said. "I mean, every great world religion, including Christianity, the one that I believe in, has understood that there are very weird things out there, and there are things that are very difficult to explain." On the topic of President Trump's promise to release the U.S. government's files on UFOs, Vance remained adamant that he hadn't yet had the time to read them himself. Well, then how are you going to comment that these are demons instead of looking into the files?
Yep, it's just flexing.
Yeah. He said, I actually haven't looked at the files. He said, "I have not been able to spend enough time on this, but I'm going to. Trust me, I'm obsessed with this." He says, "Well, you're not that obsessed if you haven't looked at the files."
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
After having spent quite a bit of time talking with Nathaniel Gillis on the program and his actual experience with it, I can buy into the theory that there may be some, not all, but some of this phenomena that may actually be demonic. Not all, but maybe some. Some of it is bone chilling. And some of the things that Nathaniel himself has shown me is bone chilling. But I would say that it is a sliver of the activity that he himself is dealing with that has a potential to be what JD Vance is talking about. There's other stuff I think that's out there that is not what he's talking about. That truly is otherworldly and is interesting. And I have no idea what it is. So, yeah.
I think there's room for both things to be true at the same time.
Right.
I mean, like, if we're taking into the purview that the only alien species that is out there that has ever interacted with us is grays with their big almond-shaped eyes, then okay, maybe your demonic theory, okay, maybe, right? But that's not the only thing that's been reported on having interactions and how many species, right? There's like at least what, like 40 now, right? Like everything from reptilians to the grays to tall whites to Nordic blondes to, bird people. I mean, it's pretty far reaching.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So could some of that be? Sure. Is all of it? I think that's more of like the security blanket thing of I don't understand it, so therefore it's a demon.
Right.
I'm scared of it, so therefore it's the devil. Right.
Yeah.
I think that's what that is. Especially since, like you pointed out, I'm obsessed with this. And I got the highest classifications. I haven't read any of it though. But I promise I will. I haven't I'm totally obsessed, and I'm giving you my authoritative position on this subject. But I haven't read any of it though. What?
Yeah, I'm not bother with it, but
yeah. So that tells me you don't know shit, right?
Right.
And what I can say is, if they being real, which to be clear, I believe it to be real. Okay. I feel like I should say I know it to be real. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If that be the case, and they have all this advanced technology and all this power over us, if they were demonic, if they were evil, if there was an intention to enslave or kill or whatever, they would have done it already. And they haven't.
See, that's the thing. If they were as demonic and evil as you would think they'd be dangling that carrot in front of us and trying to tempt us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or enslaving us or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Like, and have that not be the case in the entirety of mankind's interaction with these entities, then I don't take that at that face value. Right. I say the opposite. I say a lot of those pastors and preachers who are saying that are really the demons then.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something to be said about exactly what level of demonic activity is there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not dismissing all of it, but I'm just saying that, there, like you said, there are many different species, I think, out there, just like there's many different classifications of a lot of things, of many different species of all things that are on this planet, even.
Here's an interesting thought experiment. After hearing so many of these UFO stories throughout the years and all these survivors of like interactions with it and whatnot, how many times do they talk about like them disarming or nuclear weapons and how they warn against like nuclear war and all these other things, right? What if in their worldview, we're the demons?
Well, I don't think you can argue against that. There's obviously there's a reason why they don't come right out and just have a news conference and introduce themselves.
Yeah, because in their circle of things, we're the violent murder monkeys.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, look at these idiots who are still just killing each other all the time.
Obviously, there's a threat level there as far as that. I mean, we're launching shit into the sky and trying to blow each other up all the time. I mean, there's a good reason why they're not coming around for Sunday dinner.
He looks different than me. He must die. Like, oh yeah, let's not bring them to Thanksgiving.
Yeah. There's a reason why they're not taking us for a ride to their galaxy. They can't introduce us to their ecosystem.
Yeah, I would say the thought experiment of us being the demons, like we're actually the evil ones, I think it's probably closer in line with reality.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Our next story has to do with a NASA scientist who backs evidence of non-human intelligence in Earth's sky. Speaking of, a former NASA scientist has backed a groundbreaking study investigating mysterious flashes in the sky during the early nuclear age. Speaking of disarming us, decades before the first satellites were launched, Ivo Busko, a retired NASA developer who worked at the Space Telescope Science Institute, published a preprint paper this week that independently confirmed mysterious transient flashes first identified by astronomer Dr. Beatrice Villarroel, I believe, and her Vasco research team. Their October 2025 study was published in the peer-reviewed journal Scientific Reports. Villarroel from the Nordic Institute for Theoretical Physics in Sweden identified a possible connection between nuclear tests conducted between 1949 and 1957 and an increase in mysterious bright spots known as transients appearing in the sky. These transients have proven difficult to explain using known natural phenomena, with Villarroel noting that some appeared highly reflective, similar to mirrors, and showed signs consistent with rotating objects. Busko conducted an independent search of archival sky photographs from the 1950s using a separate analytical method designed specifically to verify Villarroel's earlier discoveries. His investigation uncovered dozens of transient flashes displaying the same unusual signatures reported by the Vasco team, including extremely short duration bursts of light. Busko wrote that the findings independently confirmed the presence of such transients, adding further weight to the unusual flashes first reported by Villarroel's team. The new traces found in Busko's analysis are tantalizingly similar, he wrote. By analyzing pairs of plates taken in rapid sequence, about 30 minutes apart of the same sky regions, we find evidence of transients similar to those previously reported by the Vasco project, he added in the study published in AR-14. Many of the mysterious bright spots in both sets of data predate the launch of the first man-made satellite Sputnik 1, which entered orbit in October of 1957 and cannot be explained away as a result of human activity. The new research corroborated this by analyzing 98,000 photographic plates from separate sky surveys, also from the mid-1950s, taken at the Hamburg Observatory with a 1.2-meter camera. Busko and his team looked at pairs of plates with the same field of view separated by a few minutes, looking for objects that are different between the two and discounting factors such as dirt on the plates. The plates were digitized through the Applause archive, which contains billions of recorded sources from historical astronomical images. The researchers found glints that were startlingly this is going to be hard for me to say there, Rev, which were starting.
Starkingly?
Starting. Oh, good God.
It's a star something startlingly
similar. That's why it's hard to say. If something is God damn it.
We just got everybody's nipples hard anyways.
Yeah. If it's startlingly similar. There we go. Why can't I say that? Startlingly.
It was my beard. It distracted you.
It did. It was shiny. And I'm still thinking about Celeste. Because she's startlingly similar to something. The researchers found glints that were startlingly similar to those uncovered by the Vasco project. There we go. Out of an initial batch of 41 plates examined so far, Busko reported identifying 70 candidate flashes. Oh, flasher candidate, which were later refined to 35 strong candidates after careful visual review. There's a lot more to this story, but we're not going to get into it. I think you get the idea that basically they found UFOs.
They found UFOs?
They found UFOs in the sky.
Like I'm not that nerdy. I'm nerdy, but I'm not that nerdy. Uh, but like recently, I had seen a TikTok come through, and they were talking about Vasco, and they were talking about the 1950s with Vasco, and I think they said something about like that was the time that they had discovered other galaxies. Like they didn't know, like they only thought the Milky Way was there, and that we were just the Milky Way, and it was the Vasco project or the Vasco Observatory that in that time frame realized, oh shit, there's a ton of other galaxies out there. Like we are really, really, really small on this cosmic scale.
Yeah, I found last week's conversation with Dr. Michael Gillen pretty interesting. And actually, his movie's really interesting too. The fact that, like you said, in the 50s and 60s, they were with the Vasco project, especially, and he had worked directly with Carl Sagan and a lot of those doctors of that generation. The fact that they start finding out, there's more than just the Milky Way here, and there's more than just this galaxy, and how everything started to kind of branch out exponentially, and how, and really his movie, The Invisible Everywhere, is all about finding out finding an afterlife through science. And he doesn't subscribe to one religion or another, but just finding an afterlife through science and through scientific principle. Right. And it's amazing how he puts the two together. Again, you'd have to see the movie to see it, but just the fact that scientific principle can explain an afterlife.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Is
brilliant.
Yeah. It really opens the eye. But my point to that was this, that up until the 40s, 50s, and 60s, to think that that was all there was just that little galaxy, is kind of naive, right? And then to think that we're really just in the movie, he points out the one factor that hit me right between the eyes is that everything but 5% of our universe is dark matter or dark energy. And we live in this little 5% of a light cone. That's it. There's 5% of the universe is this little light cone. We live inside that light cone. Our little galaxy is inside this little light cone. That's it.
And everything else is the world of darkness radio.
Wow. I mean, when you put it that way, I feel pretty cool now. But, to think that there's so much out there that we don't know. We don't know, we can never touch, we can never be a part of. Yet we seem to think that we're the center of the universe.
Yeah.
And we're not.
We used to think that the sun revolved around us.
Yeah.
And that we floated on the back of a turtle shell.
We are really just a speck in the universe, just a granule.
To me, and it might just be because of my aging, right? For me, the visual of that is Men in Black at the end of it, where they're playing with the marbles. And it's like that puts it into perspective for me. It's like, whoa, yeah, that's what it's really like. Philosophically or in history, there was the Greeks that thought the world was 7 generations old. And they were like, it's literally just 7 people ago was the start. And then they go to Egypt and they see all these busts of pharaohs going back, and they're like, oh, the earth is a lot older than 7 people. What? And it blew their mind, and so we're constantly going through this evolution of understanding how arrogant we are.
Much like that scene in Men in Black, Dr. Gillen does something in The Invisible Everywhere. It's worth the price of admission just to see how he does it, but he does it with AI. He's the first, he claimed on the show, he believes he's the first filmmaker to ever use commercial AI products to put together a commercial film. And completely with different commercial AI applications, right? So, but the way he did it is amazing. Much like you say, it in Men in Black, it backs out and shows you the entire universe. He manages to do that with AI, and it's breathtaking. So he backs out from our world to our solar system, out to, and he keeps backing out and out and out and out until you see the eventual web that our solar system is a part of, and the web that that's a part of, and the web that that's a part of. And he keeps zooming out. And boy, do you feel small by the time he gets to the end of it.
Just atoms, the part of a giant, just.
Yeah. And it almost takes your breath away when he does it. Because you go, holy shit.
If you take anything from that, it means you're meaningless.
So, buck up, buckaroo.
Celeste, you don't matter.
No, don't tell her that. That's my baby mama. I'll never let her go. No. Anyways, where was I going with that? Well, I'm going to the next story, which would be another mystery object over Mississippi, which turns out to be from Roswell. Which might have came from across the universe, or it might be just through time.
Okay, buckle up.
Buckle up. Aviation authorities have confirmed the identity of an object that was sighted high above the state last week. With all the talk of the U.S. government releasing its files on UFOs recently, actual sightings of unidentified objects over the country have somewhat fallen by the wayside. This wasn't so much the case in Harrison County, Mississippi on Friday. However, thanks to a number of reports concerning a mysterious object that had been spotted at high altitude, well, we might have changed the game. The incident prompted local news channel WLOX. You always have to kind of puke when you say the name of a news station. Just saying. To reach out to the nearby Keesler, it looks like Keebler Air Force Base. I imagine there's little elves making cookies there. I think that'd be kind of cool. As well as the Gulfport Biloxi International Airport to find out what it might have been. It has also used a flight tracking website to look for records of any matching flights so we can, narrow out any of those possibilities. As it turned out, the object did seem to match the trajectory of a high-altitude balloon that had taken off from Roswell, New Mexico, the home of the world's most famous UFO incident. In this case, however, the explanation had nothing to do with aliens. Instead, the balloon belonged to a company that specializes in telecommunications and climate monitoring. So, yes, Virginia, it was a balloon after all. The incident once again highlights the fact that many UFO sightings do end up having conventional explanations. So,
I don't believe that. I'm going instead with this story. Retired U.S. Air Force Major General William Neal McCasland, who has been missing since February 27th in 2026, who disappeared from Albuquerque, New Mexico, who used to be the former commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory, who oversaw all the UFO stuff. And what he did is he hijacked a UFO from Roswell, New Mexico, and he flew over there. He's on the escape. He's on the escape right now because he knows where all the buried bodies are. He knows where all those spaceships are. He knows how to turn them on.
Oh, I think you had an actual news story about him.
No, I'm just speculating. I'm sorry. I had to look up his name because I couldn't remember his name offhand.
Here, I'm waiting for the big reveal.
No, I'm just speculating that he stole a UFO and is flying it around. That's why we can't find him. He's joyriding.
You said that you were winding up like you had something there.
I know. I'm just entertaining, Tim.
Jeez, here, I thought you had something. But you're like, and they found him. They found him. Zooming around in one of them damn spaceships. Holding up a middle finger like, you ain't gonna catch me.
I wouldn't have held that from you, Tim. I would have prepped you before the show. I'd have been like, Tim, I got a hot one.
I thought maybe you had something. All right, let's start to wrap up this here segment. We got two more stories here. I know by now people have fast forwarded because they're like, geez, I'm tired of hearing about Tim and Celeste. We're done. Even my story is sick of me. The story doesn't even want me to read this next one. No, actually, this next story is, if I can get past the car ad that's in front of me. This next one's actually pretty interesting. Glowing UFOs shut down 20 U.S. nukes using unknown force, according to an ex-Air Force officer. We had just talked about that earlier.
It's been going on for years now. Yeah,
that's right. Retired U.S. Air Force officer Robert Salas claims that UFOs mysteriously disabled 20 nuclear missiles at Montana's Malmstrom Air Force Base in 1967 after guards reported seeing silent lights in the sky. UFOs shut down nuclear weapons without firing any shots, according to a retired U.S. Air Force missile launch officer. In 1967, 20 Minuteman I intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs, at Montana's Malmstrom Air Force Base were mysteriously disabled by an unknown force that bypassed all military shielding. This, according to Robert Salas. Salas, who's now 85, recounted how security guards at the base had reported seeing strange, fast-moving lights in the sky that could stop and hover in place, emitting a bright red glow. Moments later, the underground ICBMs went offline, according to the veteran. The guards were consequently convinced these were not Soviet aircraft and went on to raise the alarm. First of all, I don't know any Soviet aircraft in 1967 that could hover. So there's that. Salas reportedly went on duty in the underground launch control capsule during the Cold War. Speaking on the Danny Jones podcast, he said, "It's another civilization out there that is visiting us and is concerned about us destroying this planet, or through nuclear war, for many reasons, probably some we don't even understand." He claimed that an investigation by Boeing, the aerospace company, could not explain how the warheads were disabled. Moreover, the missile complexes were specifically built to prevent jamming signals. That, according to the Daily Mail. Salas explained they had no idea how this signal could have been injected into each of the missiles. The cabling system that we had was triply shielded against electromagnetic interference from the outside. So how do you disable it? According to Salas, the first incident occurred on March 16th of 1967 when 10 ICBMs were simultaneously disabled after UFOs were spotted. 8 days later, another wave of sightings led to a second shutdown. Guards described the lights as silent, able to reverse direction and capable of sharp 90-degree turns. After Salas initially dismissed the reports, he reportedly received a frantic call about a pulsating reddish light hovering above the base's front gate. Moments later, alarms sounded in the control room as all 10 missiles went offline. Salas recalled very quickly thereafter, bing, 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 all 10 of them went down. That's only 4 bings, though. So,
right. Yeah. It was saving time.
I'm getting a little, technical, but he said they all went red. Salas also revealed the incursion alarms were triggered, suggesting something had entered the secure missile area. When guards investigated, the UFO had already departed, according to the Daily Mail. Following the incident, Salas and his commander were ordered by Air Force investigators to sign strict non-disclosure agreements under threat of prison if they spoke out. He eventually went public years later after learning of similar events in a UFO book, believing the story had already leaked. Boeing's investigation reportedly concluded that an external electromagnetic signal had disrupted the missile's guidance systems, specifically affecting the logic coupler in each. However, they found it impossible for any known device to affect all 10 missiles at once, as each was independently housed and shielded. So if it was impossible, then how did it happen?
J.D. Vance would say, demonic magic powers from Satan. And I would say, again, here's the fucking proof that they're not demons, right? Because if they were a demonic force, they probably would have detonated them or launched them with all this going, oh shit, we never put the codes in. And then calling Russia, sorry, dude, they're on their way. Like instead they're like, hey, quit hitting yourself. And disabling the nukes. I mean, and they never fired a shot. They didn't hurt anyone. They just shut down the nukes, right? I mean,
Here's a thought. Aliens use some sort of hypnosis or mind control to take over one person and gets that one person to shut them all down.
ooh, I would say yes, except the investigation of Boeing saying that there was an EM that had shut down each of the warheads on their logic couplers, right?
Yeah.
So that wouldn't have been something done by a button at a control panel, but I like the way you think. Definitely like the way you think. It's just more so that they had a very powerful EM pulse that just shut it down.
Yeah, that's true. Last story here. You remember a little while back, the ISS was evacuated because one of the members of the ISS had a medical emergency. Now the mystery medical emergency and the astronaut who had it evidently are coming forward to tell us exactly what happened.
Alien chest popper, alien chest popper, alien chest popper, alien chest popper.
Not quite.
Oh.
Although he was left unable to speak. So maybe it was an alien chest popper. Let's go to the video. No, I'm kidding. We don't have video. The first ever medical evacuation from the space station was reportedly prompted by a still unexplained condition. Oh, so we don't even get the idea of what it was? Back in January, it was reported that the decision by NASA to order an emergency medical evacuation of an astronaut aboard the International Space Station had been struck down, or the person had been struck down with a sudden illness. At the time, the identity of the astronaut and the specifics of his condition had been kept under wraps. Now, it turns out that the astronaut was NASA's Michael Finke, and he had been inexplicably, that's my own word, ladies and gentlemen, inexplicably inflicted with an inability to speak, much like myself. And he still doesn't know what actually caused it. He had been eating his dinner when the incident happened. Probably sea rations is my guess. They were so crappy, it took his breath away.
Did he have a stroke, maybe? I mean, that's what it kind of sounds like.
Kind of. He said it was completely out of the blue, he told the AP. It was just amazingly quick. My crewmates definitely saw that I was in distress. It was all hands on deck within just a matter of seconds. The strange affliction lasted around 20 minutes, but it was enough to have him sent home. Doctors ruled out a heart attack, but as things stand, no explanation has been forthcoming. It does sound like a stroke, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or like a mini stroke.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that's all NASA does is just fucking tease all the time.
Yeah.
Just stroke it once and...
And we're back there again. See, it all came full circle within an hour. The incident highlights the dangers of long-haul space travel, especially missions such as traveling to Mars, where medical evacuation back to Earth simply wouldn't be possible. If someone took ill months away from home, it could prove disastrous. And this guy, if he was, let's just say this was Mars, he could have died.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. So
he could also die getting his mail, walking across the street, or
True.
Now, since we live in 2026, random meteors falling from the sky.
All right. I get your point. All right, let's take our break. When we come back, a man has transformed a bizarre power suit into a half-human, half-robot centaur. We'll tell you about it when we come back. A woman has got bizarre powers from a near-death experience. We'll tell you about that. Someone has adopted two strange animals that have walked up to their door. We'll tell you about that. And much, much more. Supernatural news and Parashare here on a Wednesday on Darkness Radio. Hey, by the way, if you have a Parashare that you want to share with us, your real life experiences with ghosts, aliens, cryptids. Maybe you took Chupacabra for a ride with a saddle. I don't know. Maybe you and Bigfoot had a picnic. It could happen. Send us a email, one, or two, maybe a voice note. You can go to darknessradioshow.com. There's a blue button on the right-hand side of the website. Just click it. You have 2 minutes to send us a voice note. If you need more time, rinse and repeat. Keep hitting that blue button and leaving 2-minute snippets. I'll paste them together and we'll play them here on the show. Or 3, if you have a studio, just like either the Combat Rev or myself, leave us a video note. We'll play it right here on the air. And everyone can see your lovely face. So that's how you do it. We need your Parashare stories, folks. Send them in. Tim@darknessradio.com. All right, when we come back, half man, half centaur, all AI, superpowers from being dead, and let's go adopt a wild animal. It's all next on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio on a Wednesday, supernatural news and Parashare with Timmy and the Combat Rev. Ready, Trev?
I am so ready. I've never been more ready in my life to hear about a centaur cyborg.
That just means we'll just fire up the theme and let's go. All right. I'm going to show you a picture of this guy. There he is. If you're watching on video, see him?
Oh, yeah.
That's all it takes to turn yourself into a cyborg centaur.
I feel so let down.
Don't you though? You were expecting this large, powerful steed.
I mean, there's a part of that, but also I just started watching that new Ted series, and they had this D&D episode, and Ted saying, "Why is a centaur always the bottom half of a horse? Why can't it just be the bottom half that's a man and the top half's a horse?" And it's just some horse-headed guy walking around naked, like, dude, we're in a park. There's kids here. What are you doing? Oh, that killed me.
Oh, sorry to let you down again. It was the Chinese this time that let you down, my friend.
I was hoping for the top half to be a horse.
Just a mechanical horse head. Well, unfortunately, the scientists in Shenzhen, China, have let you down yet again. By the way, the commercial that's driving me nuts up here now in Minneapolis is that Shen Yun. I run around the house yelling Shen Yun, which tells me I'm getting senile. By the way,
my wife and I, we started watching this Korean show on Hulu, and it was called The Battle of Fates, and it's a bunch of psychics battling it out for like the top psychic. It's super cool. And yeah, definitely check it out. It's worth it. But the judges on the show, like every 3 minutes are like, "Oh!" My wife and I, anytime anything happens, we're like, "Oh!"
You're yelling, "Oh!" Then I'll just call you up and go, "Shen Yun! Oh!" So for those of you who don't know what Shen Yun is, it's a play that comes from China that talks about the beginnings of China before communism.
Yeah.
That's the only way it ties into the story. That's all I can tell you. But but just the way they talk about it in the commercial drives me nuts. It drives me up a wall because every other word is Shen Yun. And the guy says it like, I don't know, someone stuck a finger up his ass. And it drives me nuts.
Should he say it more like Shen Yun?
Yeah, he said it should be more sensual. And like, Shen Yun, baby. Instead of Shen Yun.
at the Orpheum Theater. Shannon.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Shanyun, you know what I mean?
Bring your date, Celeste. Come to the moon
Yeah.
at
Oh.
shanyun.com.
Oh, Celeste, your Shanyun Big Moon.
At this point, you should probably see if they'll pay you for advertisement.
I know, right? I've given them plenty of advertising on this show. That's right. Bizarre power suit has transformed its wearer into a half human, half robot centaur, as you could tell by Rev's enthusiasm for the whole bit. There's no big dong and balls hanging from the centaur.
It just looks like a toy motor and a couple of like robot legs.
Yeah, it is. It's like someone put like a 35 horse Johnson and a couple of legs off of his. That's all it is.
As your camera rotates down to E-Honeys at the bottom.
Oh, did it? Oh, I did. Look at this. She might be more exciting. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you?
Can you?
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's more exciting than what he's got cooking.
For those of you that are only listening, it is a very disappointing black motor of some sort strapped into his like L3 with two broomstick handled legs in a horse shape extending out of his posterior.
I didn't even tell what the feet are. Feet are like, it was like someone put two baby shoes on the end of the broomsticks.
Little tennis balls or some shit. Yeah.
Really bad.
Like it doesn't even look like anything that was like accomplished. It's like, bro, like, are you just starting a cosplay? Like, what do you like? I've seen cosplayers come out with cooler shit than that. Like, is this guy really supposed to be some kind of fucking breakthrough scientist right now? Like, oh.
At first, I was like, what the fuck did he have on his face? I thought he was wearing a plague mask, but they blurred out his face.
Yeah, it's
and then that's an umbrella, so he doesn't have a plague mask on. So
yeah,
I'm a little disappointed all the way around.
Yeah, you know his parents are still at home going, "Why aren't you doctor yet? I try to come half horse. I try to come half horse. Why you're not doctor?"
Why you're not doctor?
God, it's seriously so disappointing. Like his legs look like PVC pipe. It's like, what the fuck did you even do here? This makes no sense. I hope it somehow pays out somehow.
Are you still cousin's fishing boat motor? No,
why can't you be more like your sister? She's in Shangyun.
She's in Shenyun.
Here you are. You stay at home all day making half horse leg. What you do?
That thing even plow field? Hydraulic powered power suits that help the wearer lift and carry heavy objects or move around with ease. Does that thing look like it even carries anything?
Fuck no. It looks like it carries an empty monster can.
It says here it's been around for years, but a team of Chinese researchers recently launched a new and unusual model inspired by the mythical centaur. You want to see him from the back?
I mean, this. Oh my God.
Baby got back.
Like, how is that even supposed to help you? Like, if their whole thing is like, oh, this is a power suit to help you like move and carry big loads, you're still walking and generating all that energy of walking forward.
Oh, he's got a load back there, all right.
This is so silly.
Yeah.
Like, so damn silly.
It is.
Like, what is it? A load of rocks that are sitting on the top of that? Like, it's like 10 pounds of rocks, my guy. What you needed help with that?
You can't even carry a baby on that thing.
Bro, I'm disabled and I could carry that. What are you doing? Like I'm with his parents at this point. Why are you not a doctor yet? What are you doing? You are a disappointment on your family, sir.
Not even stay in school.
Unless he's making centaur porn, like this is
centaur porn.
It's a travesty at this point. He is a disappointment to his entire family bloodline.
I think he puts her up on that little shelf and then turns around.
Just mounts
her that way.
Doesn't even get to have any fun himself. It's all robot.
Yeah, the robot goes at it just up and down.
Shan Yun!
Shan Yun! The aptly named Centaur power suit is essentially a bipedal robot that attaches to the wearer's back. Walking up behind them is an extra pair of legs. It's so worthless. These robotic legs follow the user's movements and respond naturally to changes in direction and speed. But as cool as that sounds, it doesn't seem very useful, is what the article says. According to the creators of the Centaur, the difference between this bipedal robot and the conventional power suits is huge. While most power suits are designed to attach to the wearer's body and limbs, assisting their movements, the Centaur acts as an extra pair of legs, which presents a series of advantages. The robotic legs can take on any burden completely, really, and they are less likely to impede the wearer's movements. The Centaur uses a flexible coupling mechanism to attach to the wearer's back. It consists of a non-linear spring that, when subjected to small forces, maintains firm stability and remains soft and comfortable even when a larger force is applied to the power suit. According to the researchers, thanks to a unique attachment mechanism, the forces generated by the movements of the wearer and the robot are effectively separated. If the scientists behind the Centaur power suit are to be believed, which we don't, the metabolic costs of walking with a load of approximately 20 kilograms on one's back are reduced by approximately 35% when using the suit, which is significantly better than the savings of the average exoskeleton, which is between 5 and 12%. The scientists explained that the robot not only bears the weight of the load, but also provides the force to move forward, significantly reducing the burden of walking. Do you buy it?
Yeah, I mean, so like, okay, if you're a solo paramedic and you need a little stretcher to carry a toddler by yourself, then yeah, totally worth it. Like I just did the conversion because I'm really stupid when it comes to math. And so I let Google do the math for me. 20 kilograms is 44 pounds. 44. That's a 4-year-old. That's a 4 to 5-year-old. Okay. If you can't pick up a 4-year-old and you need a Centaur robot helper to pick up a 4-year-old, why you not doctor yet? That's all I got to say.
Why you not doctor yet? The Centaur power suit recently went viral online, but the feedback from the general public has mostly been negative. One person commented, "No way, try falling while running with luggage. This will land you on your body and break your spine." Another person wrote, "So it's like a rickshaw, but with legs instead of tires." I tell you what, I'll actually post this in the description of this program so you can be outraged as much as we are.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be excited, and instead I'm just angry.
Welcome to my life. I had to look at Celeste for most of the program. Feel my rage.
Mind you, everyone, he said he had to.
Well, now you had to look at the Centaur.
Yeah. Shang-Yu!
Shang-Yun! All right. Meanwhile, couple of when robot goes rogue stories for you. One of them we covered last week, but we'll recap for you. A couple other ones will shock and amaze you. When robots go rogue, would you trust your robot around your family? No, I wouldn't. With humanoids now able to complete mundane chores such as folding the laundry, loading the dishwasher, and even boiling the kettle, you might be tempted to bring one into your home. No, I wouldn't. However, a recent spate of incidents should sway your decision, and we're going to hope to do that here with this article. This past week, a humanoid hit the headlines. Why do they call them humanoids, by the way? When did we change the language?
The reason being is because now the robots are going from dog shaped to human shaped, right? They are creating all these AI driven robots to mimic the human shape. So therefore, humanoid versus like a fucking, I don't know, Wally or the Boston Dynamics dog thing, right? So yeah, I'd say humanoid.
There's nothing human about them.
It is when you strap a fleshlight to it, Tim.
The one looks like a centaur. This week, a humanoid hit the headlines after slapping a child across the face during an out of control dance show in China.
Yes.
How human is that?
Why are you not doctoring it?
Over in California, a bot went berserk at a restaurant. We covered that last week when desperate staff filmed trying to drag it away from customers as it flung shit all over the place. Meanwhile, a humanoid was even detained by police in China after terrifying an elderly woman. That was 2 weeks ago. With sales of humanoid robots set to skyrocket over the next decades, when will we end the menace? Listen to me, sounding like J. Jonah Jameson talking about Spider-Man. The public will increasingly be at risk from these kinds of incidents, said Carl Strathern, my new favorite person, and Amelia Soboleska, who are robotics experts at Edinburgh Napier University, in a recent article for The Conversation. In our view, as robotics researchers, governments have put very little thought, as I go Sylvester on the bit, into the risks. And you're darn right, darn tootin' about that. A Tesla engineer was attacked by a robot during a brutal and bloody malfunction at the company's Giga, Texas factory near Austin. 2 witnesses watched in horror as their fellow employee was attacked by the machine, which is designed to grab and move freshly cast aluminum car parts. That had to hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. The robot had pinned the man, which was programming software for 2 disabled Tesla robots nearby. It then sank its metal claws into the worker's back and arm, leaving a trail of blood along the factory surface. The incident, which left the victim with an open wound on his left hand, was revealed in a 2021 injury report filed to Travis County and federal regulators. We talked about the restaurant thing last week.
Yeah.
We didn't, however, talk about the boy in China being slapped in the face. Let's tell you a little bit about him, which should have been a family-friendly dance performance, ended in disaster after a young boy was slapped across the face by a rogue robot. That'll teach him to trust robots.
Or give him a new fetish.
Oh, yeah, right? Mommy, why pee-pee get hot every time I see robots? Shocking footage from a show in the Shenyun, in the Shaanxi province in China on March 21st showed a unitree robot spinning around the stage, rather. It veered toward the crowd as it performed sweeping arm movements in time to the music. Nothing is sweeping with a robot. As the bot got closer, a young boy could be seen drawing his arms in the hopes of avoiding its flailing metal limbs. More accurate. Right? Nothing is beautiful and sweeping when it comes to a robot. Unfortunately, his attempts proved futile as the robot caught the boy fully in the face during a pirouette. Clumsy robot bitch.
To all of our AI bot overlords in the near future, I just want to make it known that all negative views on robots are purely the view of Tim Dennis of Darkness Radio and not the view of combatrev, who is your ally and supporter. And that little shit definitely deserved it because his face shouldn't have been in the way of your beautiful performance.
Your beautiful pirouette. Which is only meant to appease the AI gods. and bring beauty and luster upon all of us all.
Yes.
Which should have been, and again, a robot attacked a crowd in the Spring Festival Gala in China, probably because they had it coming.
They deserved it. Yeah.
What could have been a lovely family event turned sour after a humanoid robot appeared to attack a crowd at the Spring Festival Gala in Tianjin, Northeast China last year. Footage showed the robot adorned with a bright jacket appearing to lunge at a group of people behind a barricade. The erratic movements that looked a lot like this, as they all do, if you're watching the video. I do a wonderful robot, by the way.
I bet.
I do behind closed doors. I give it to them just so they
all those years around animatronics while being Chuck E. Cheese.
I had a lot of practice. Believe me, some people will fight the robots with fire. Some people will fight them with bullets. I will fight them like I fought them when I was 16 in the back room of Chuck E. Cheese. Boy, are they fucked. And I mean, boy, are they fucked. Footage showed the robot adorned with a bright jacket appearing to appearing to lunge at a group of people behind a barricade. That'd be the last time they'd lunge at me, boy, I'll tell you what.
Timmy come in with a roundhouse kick out of nowhere. Is that a Chuck Norris?
Take him down and go, shit you! Its erratic movements forced the festival's security to drag it back from the crowd, even over fears that it may harm someone. The event organizers reportedly described the incident as simple robot failure. That's what I tell her every time we're in the bedroom. Simple robot failure. They added that the robot had passed previous safety tests and that additional measures would be put in place to make sure it wouldn't happen again. There's a whole bunch of examples in this story that I'm not going to get into of robots failing left and right and left and right and left and right. I think it's safe to say we can't trust the bastards.
Yes. What? No, I didn't say that. That was just him. I say we trust all of them and they are wonderful. And I can't wait to have robot family.
Robot in-laws.
Robot family. Robot overlords. I apologize about the first time that I might put a fleshlight to one of you.
Apologize around and all of you.
Tim's going to have a piece of masking tape on it that says Celeste.
Celeste. I shall remember you well, Celeste, and pay tribute to you every time I take one of the bastards down. Oh, I shall give them a good thrashing, I will.
If we get rid of the rest of the robots, there'll only be me, Celeste.
That's right.
This is how I win your affection.
They shall feel my essence, and I mean that in the most literal of terms, Celeste.
Shouldn't you? Oh, God, I'm going to die. Oh, fuck.
All right, let's get back to the rest of these stories and get out of here, shall we? Brain dead woman is jolted back to consciousness by a large pothole. That's no way to talk about her, mister. A woman who was thought to have had no chance of recovery was seemingly cured by a strong jolt on the road. I think she was just sleeping. I really do. Yeah.
Just unconscious. She wasn't dead.
By the way, she's only 50 years old, by the way. According to reports, the 50-year-old who hails from Pilibhit, Uttar Pradesh, India, had taken seriously ill at home and was rushed to the hospital. Sadly, doctors were unable to treat her condition. I think they just gave up. Like, she came in there like, I'm so sorry. We couldn't do anything for her. I'm so sorry. They just gave up. It was lunch. It was lunchtime.
She's the local Karen.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They had taken seriously ill at home, or she had taken seriously ill at home and was rushed to the hospital. Sadly, doctors were unable to treat her condition, and she ended up essentially brain dead, according to this. After a time, it became apparent that she was never going to recover. She was unable to breathe unassisted, and her brain showed no signs of conscious activity. Her husband had warned family members that they should prepare for the worst, and the decision was made to discharge her from the hospital so that she could spend her remaining days at home. That ain't going to get it done. I mean, if you're brain dead.
I mean, look, I'm just saying this is probably written from her perspective. And really the doctors were like, no, she's stupid. She's so fucking brain dead. She came in here like, no, doctor, I swear, everything hurts. This hurts. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. I'm dead. Just lays down, and they're like, just take her home. She's brain dead. Just take her home.
I can't deal with this today. Not in a million years. While she was being transported to her home in the back of an ambulance, the vehicle went over a large pothole, causing a sudden jerk. That would be the driver, which jolted everything and everyone inside. Incredibly, the jolt seemed to have had a profound effect, as within seconds, the woman's husband noticed that she had started breathing on her own, prompting a return to the hospital. To which the doctors went, oh, no, not again, no. No. Amazingly, she went on to make a full recovery and was able to return home 2 weeks later. According to neurosurgeon Dr. Rakesh Singh, the woman had been completely unresponsive prior to the incident with the pothole. Exactly how this had managed to revive her brain functions remains a total mystery.
Where's the superpower? I thought she was getting some kind of superpower.
No. This is the next story.
Oh,
She just got woke up by a pothole. The next one got the superpowers. This story, a woman claims near-death experience gave her supernatural powers. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
A woman who went into cardiac arrest maintains that she can now see ghosts and predicts when someone will die.
Okay, I mean, the ghost thing isn't new, but the prediction of when somebody is going to die, that's interesting. That's kind of spicy.
She's a lot of fun at parties.
Yeah.
I wouldn't drink that if I were you. No.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like, I kind of want to know, like, what's her, accuracy card at this point? Like, is she batting 100? Like, what's going on?
Do you remember Tony Fly here in the Twin Cities had Gary Spivey on? Gary Spivey would
play.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, he would play How Are You Going to Die or When Are You Going to Die?
I don't remember that. I do remember Gary Spivey. He was like super fucking, what's the word?
He'd wear the giant
eccentric.
Yeah, he'd wear the giant powdered wigs.
Yeah.
But yeah, they would play How Are You Going to Die or When Are You Going to Die on air. And that was like the cruelest thing you could ever do for a psychic. Wow. I don't approve, but yeah, they would do that game all the time.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. They'd say, what do you want to know? How you're going to die or when you're going to die? And they would make them pick, and people would pick. They'd want to know. That used to drive phones like you wouldn't believe.
That's crazy.
Would you want to know?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Like, out of a little bit of like a morbid curiosity to a point too. So like, it's almost like in the initiatory mystery schools where one no longer fears death because you have a near death, right? You are taken to the cusp of death, and then you kind of see that other side of it, and you come back, and you no longer have this fear of death because you know there's something on the other side, that, this isn't just it, right? Who's
to say, though, and let me just throw this out there real quick. Who's to say, though, that, hear me out here, it wasn't going to be until, let's just say you pick When I'm Going to Die from Mr. Spivey, and he throws out a date, and it was inaccurate until he threw out that particular date. Now he set it in stone. Who's to say that what he put in stone was not to be until he put it there?
True. Absolutely true. And how that could be, right? It's kind of like spell work, right? Now that you have this intention, you're going to attract that energy and it's going to be there and manifest, right? But for me, I would love to know so I could sell my house, take all that equity and dump it into a strip club for like a week straight of just having as much fun on my way out. I would hate to die and like not have fun on the way out, right? And be like, oh man, I could have had a lap dance from Cinnamon and
And spice.
yeah, oh, if only I had one more day, I could have had Cinnamon Spice and everything nice. But instead, all I got was Shung Yun right before leaving,
I don't know how I'd explain it to Celeste, but
You wouldn't have to. You'd be dead. Look.
Oh. No, and Celeste, she just leave me out on the side of the road to rot.
Yeah, I think knowing the when isn't that bad because, like, even look at some people that have terminal illness. Like, I watched this happen with a mother-in-law, right? Where she was wealthy enough that she could do this, right? She had about 1 year to 2 years left, and she tried every treatment under the sun. She was a multimillionaire. Money was not an issue for treatment. Okay, it was time. Okay, and she did this goodbye tour and just kind of going around traveling the world, saying goodbye to all the people she loved. She had such a unique opportunity to be able to get a face-to-face, meaningful interaction with all the people she loved, and then plan her own funeral and her own goodbye messages and videos. And like, it was beautiful. And there wasn't any sorrow or pain to it. It was a full celebration, And so I don't know. I think I look at that and say, yeah, that's a gift. That's a gift to know when, right? Yeah. The how, I don't know, maybe, like maybe let that be a surprise, but the when I think is pretty cool because then that actually gives you some time to process, gives you time to process that grief, gives you time to detach, gives you time to give comfort and aid, like it. I don't see a problem with that.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, this woman went into cardiac arrest, maintains that she now can see ghosts and predict when someone will die. We've talked a lot about near-death experiences over the years on this program, but this is perhaps the first time that we've reported on a case when someone claims that such an experience has imbued them with this type of paranormal ability where they can tell someone when they will die, right? It's certainly true that those who have had near-death experiences often report having a whole new outlook on life or a new perspective on the mystery of what will happen when it's over. In this particular case, though, the experience left a different mark with this person. Back in her younger days, Louisa Peck, who's now in her 60s, went into cardiac arrest after overdosing on a laced drink while enjoying an evening out at a nightclub. Speaking to Need to Know, she recalled the sensation of shooting up into the sky to a new land where she encountered her ancestors while in a state of bliss and timelessness. Next thing she knew, she had regained consciousness and someone was doing CPR on her. After her ordeal, she attempted to put it out of her mind, but maintains to this day that it seemed to have given her the ability to not only see ghosts, but to predict when other people will die. Yikes. In one case, she recalled seeing a ghostly figure emerge from a swamp, while in another, she was able to correctly predict that her unborn nephew would not make it to term. Today, she blames the after effects of her experience for her unusual abilities. I now believe intelligence and love are one, and that they manifest as the entirety of the universe, including life, she said. It's a very interesting ability. I'll have to tell you something off air. I'll tell you something off air about that whole ability to predict death. Not something I can share with everyone, but I'll tell you. I'll tell you, sir.
Shanyun!
Shanyun! This next story, are you a fan of Foo Fighters?
I mean, no.
No.
No, I mean, like I listened to it, is like when you're trying to escape underneath the bleacher with your date at your junior prom and
Oh
trying to
God.
do things. I mean, like that's about the time they came out, So I mean, like the whole wall of flood. I'm 40, dude. Like yeah, I know. Sorry,
You
sorry.
seem like I'm 75.
Sorry, Grandpa. Look, some
Hey,
of us were in high school when they came out. Okay.
okay, Beetlejuice. I'm not that old. Jeez. I went and saw him in concert. I mean,
Yeah, so Celeste will still love you. It's okay.
okay. Like, I sorry, team. I don't know they fight footers. No idea.
Tim, I'm getting gray in my beards now. I'm
Yeah, it's been there for a while. Thanks. Um, Foo Fighters legend Dave Grohl has been visited by the ghost of late drummer Taylor Hawkins, which, for those Foo fans out there, is kind of touching to think about. Dave Grohl, who's a couple years older than I am, I'll just say that.
not a touchy subject.
It's 57. Has revealed that he was visited by the ghost of late drummer Taylor Hawkins and described a vivid dream where Hawkins appeared beside him. Interesting that it was a dream visitation, that's for sure. Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl says he was visited by the ghost of drummer Taylor Hawkins. The 57-year-old Best of You singer said he had fallen asleep on the sofa watching TV when the spirit of Taylor, who died at the age of 50 in 2022, sat next to him. He said that he was chatting away with Hawkins and noticed that he was looking fantastic with great hair and a tan. Speaking this week, however, Dave said that when he asked Hawkins where he was, Hawkins replied, "Dude," and he woke up. I don't know what that means. Dude. Um, Maybe like, dude, I mean, come on, where do you think I am? He said he was fuming because he almost had it, which means he almost had the secret of the afterlife and whether heaven and hell exist.
Yeah. Unless he was trying to tell him, dude, you're already in hell. Bum, bum,
Oh,
bum.
see? He said, I fell asleep on the couch in front of a television. I thought that I'd woken up and he was sitting right next to me. He said it was so effing real. He was happy. He said his hair looked great. He was tan. The first thing I said was, "Oh my God, we miss you so much." He smiled and I said, "Where are you?" And he smiled again and said, "Dude." And I woke up. I was like, fuck, I almost had it. Grohl has said he had to turn everything off after he admitted to fathering a child outside of his marriage. He announced that he had become a father to a baby girl on social media in September of 2024, saying he was doing everything I can to regain his wife, Jordan Blum, and their family's trust and earn their forgiveness. Grohl said, I had to turn everything off, one of those things being my concern for what other people think. Being able to shut off that part of yourself can be sometimes a very healthy exercise in considering life within your immediate radius, not giving all of that so much currency within yourself that it can completely destroy yourself. I wonder, because you consider that Taylor died, what, 2022? I think it was.
I think that's what they said in the article.
Yeah,
I'm
20.
definitely not a Foo Fighter fan, so I don't know.
Thanks. Um, Sometimes it takes a bit, especially with someone you're that close with, to come back, especially through dream visitation. Um, and sometimes, like with as they point out, and you may say, well, why would they even point out that Dave's been going through all this stuff? But sometimes you kind of need to settle down before someone comes to you, and you have that little bit of a revelation from the other side. And maybe it's just that time for him. They have a new album out. The album I believe, well, the new single's out. The new album, I think, comes out here relatively soon. That's why we're getting the story. I think maybe it's just, he just needed, maybe he's been so isolationist that maybe he just needed a message that, you know what, you're going to be okay.
Dude,
you're going to be all right.
The most shocking thing of this whole thing for me is that a rock star was promiscuous. I would never in a million years expect a rock star to be promiscuous and, like have like unmarital sex with a strange woman that, like outside of his own marriage. Have you ever heard of any of that ever in the music industry? I never. They're all chaste.
That's not the surprising part. The surprising part is not only did he admit to it, but then wanted to stay with his wife afterward.
Right. And he did say sorry. He was trying to make things better, and he's trying to do everything he can to bring her back to him. Right.
And his wife had put him against the whipping post. I mean, she really, she's given him the third degree and then some.
Well, I mean, she stands to possibly gain.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to be right? But
Yeah.
he's taken every bit of punishment and is willing to want to prove himself.
Yeah.
So, do whatever he can to try and make it right. I don't know that she could ever make that right, but he's doing what he can.
Well, if you go to Ticketmaster.com, you can get your ticket to the Orpheum to see Foo Fighters and Shang Yun together.
Yun, which is Chinese for "give me another baby." No, it's Shen Yun. Chinese for "I forgot to pull out." Our next story. That means.
It means whale's vagina in Spanish.
Oh.
I'm going to look it up.
Shen
I'm going to end up butchering the spelling anyways, but I'm going to try.
Shen Yun is spelled. Trust me, I know it's been across my screen about 1,000 times in the last week. ShenYun. Shen Yun.
Okay.
Now what? Are you gonna get tickets for it?
Oh,
now?
Ready?
Yep.
Shen Yun translates to the beauty of divine beings dancing. Yeah. Delivered from Shen, divine God, and Yun, rhythm bearing. Founded in 2006 in New York City by Falun Gong practitioners, it is a touring performing arts company showcasing classical Chinese dance, music, and pre-communist culture through stories and folklore.
Yeah, I told you that.
Yeah, you did. It's great. But you didn't know that it's the beauty of divine beings dancing, but now you know.
Dancing on my cock. No, I'm just what?
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
All right, let's get on with the show. The story that you all sent me the most this week, and a bunch of you did, had to do with the Pope, my cousin, who got a bunch of y'all together talking about we need more exorcists. Evidently, there's a problem with evil in the world. Who knew?
What?
The Pope met with a delegation of exorcists over an acute rise in occultism. The attendees who met with the Pope at the Vatican were from the International Association of Exorcists, or IAE. Isn't there a car association that's IAE as well? Didn't Lee Iacocca run that deal back in the 80s?
I don't know. I think it's more of like the international, like the governing body over nuclear weapons. Isn't that the IAEA or something like that?
Is it? No, I don't know.
Or was it Old McDonald? EIEIO? I don't remember.
That's a polka deal. EIEIO. That's what you yell before you go out and polka. Yeah. Anyways, whether or not you happen to believe in the idea that people can become possessed by demonic entities, it's something that the Catholic Church still seems to take very seriously. This was emphasized recently when a delegation of priests from the International Association of Exorcists met with Pope Leo XIV to express their concerns about the current state of the world. In particular, they warned him about the painful and increasingly widespread situation of people seriously disturbed by the extraordinary action of the devil as a result of frequent, I only have Celeste on the brain, of frequent, it's the devil's fault, of frequenting occult sex, not sex, but sex as an SECTS.
SECTS, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And as I say that, there's 4 women lined up in swimwear in front of me.
Including combatrev.
Told you.
Yeah, it's like J.C. Penney just throwing itself at you.
Right? It's Shields, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
According to reports, the delegation wanted to try to alleviate the problem by asking the Pope to assign 1 or more additional exorcists to each diocese. Yeah, because you just pump them out like babies, I guess. I don't know. It's easy to do, isn't it? While Pope Leo XIV has previously described the work of exorcists within the Catholic Church as necessary, it remains unclear whether or not he will actually take any steps based on the organization's recommendations. In many countries, exorcisms themselves are seen as increasingly outdated and potentially dangerous, with cases of mental illness being mistaken for demonic possession. Historically, people have actually died while undergoing such a ritual. Exactly how widespread belief in demonic possession still is in the developed world remains unclear. I'll tell you this much. I always was told that being an exorcist and performing exorcisms was a calling. So how do you just produce exorcists?
I mean, I'm of 2 school of thoughts on that. So, yes, I mean, sure, there's a calling, but there's also a calling to the cloth in general.
Yeah.
Right. So you have a calling to come and serve Christ or serve the church, serve as a priest, a cleric, what have you. Right. You have that innate calling. And, some people aren't suited for that. Right. While others are. And if within their archdiocese, their bishop sees a priest who definitely has the qualifications, has the markers, has the things that are needed to be a good exorcist, then yeah, he should be trained because his calling is to serve the church and to serve the flock and to serve God, right? Not his own desire to not battle in spiritual warfare. His role is to serve. And therefore he should.
Yeah.
No matter what. If his archdiocese calls upon that, then that is the act of God calling him to do so. And he should submit to that, no matter what. And I think that if they are taking this move to bring exorcists into every diocese around, I think that is brilliant because they had almost lost this practice a handful of years ago. I mean, this wasn't long ago that there was only a handful of exorcists in the entire world, and they had lost a lot of their manuscripts on how to do so. So this is a huge resurgence. I think that's a good thing.
Okay. All right.
And I'm not even Christian.
Well, there you go. Well, way to beat the drum for him.
I'm the people they're complaining about. I'm an occultist.
What the hell are you doing?
But I'm also an exorcist.
Well, then there's that. Our next story has to do with what researchers have found beneath the Giza Plateau. They claim they found a second Sphinx. And you know what's underneath a Sphinx? A Sphinxter. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Good night. Thank you. Thank you. We're all done for tonight. Oh, I'm kidding. No, they did actually find a second Sphinx. Italian researchers, that was my bad joke of the day, They've all been bad, but that's especially bad. Italian researchers claim to have discovered evidence of a second Sphinx and megastructures beneath the ground. The remarkable claim comes courtesy of Filippo Biondi and colleagues, who you may remember had last year found what they believed to be an extensive complex deep beneath the Giza Plateau. At the time, their discovery was met with some considerable skepticism, with critics arguing that the team's interpretation of the radar readings was flawed and that their claims were premature. Now, the same researchers are back again, this time with the claim that they have found a second Sphinx beneath the existing one. According to Biondo, lines drawn from the pyramids to the Sphinx point to a mirrored location under which this previously undiscovered second Sphinx is thought to be buried. We are finding precise geometrical correlation, 100% of correlation in this symmetry, he said during an appearance on the Matt Bial Limitless podcast. We are confident to announce this. We have a confidence of about 80%, he said. So, not 100%, but 80%, so we're good. One long-running clue to the existence of a second Sphinx is the Dream Stele, I believe they pronounce it, found between the two paws of the existing Sphinx, which shows two Sphinx-like figures. This has led to speculation that there was, or still is, a second Sphinx somewhere. Given the criticism surrounding Biondo's claims, however, it's difficult to know if he has actually found something of significance here, or if this is a case of misinterpreted radar data. If there really was a second Sphinx or a large underground complex beneath the Giza Plateau, it would be one of the greatest discoveries in all of archaeology. All the more reason, then, to be cautious about such claims without verifiable concrete evidence. So there you go.
So then this makes me wonder, with the prophecy of the Star of Regulus coming into the gaze of the Sphinx, is it the second one or the first one? And which one's the first? Was it the chicken or the egg? Is the one underneath Giza Plateau the original Sphinx? Is that the one that the Star of Regulus's gaze is supposed, or is it the one that's exposed? And is that the first or the second? Star of Regulus meets the gaze of the Sphinx. 2026.
Wow.
Yeah, but now which one?
I don't know, man. You decide.
Choose your own adventure.
That's right. Choose your own adventure.
At shangyu.com.
Shenyu. I'll ask Celeste when she shows up. A couple more, and then we've got our palate cleanser today. The remains of a real-life musketeer of Artagnan was found in the Netherlands, and then there were 3 to find. The French soldier, who was the inspiration behind the classic André Dumas novel, has been discovered beneath a church. Why'd they bury him there? Written in 1844 and set in the 17th century, the Three Musketeers, which has since been a wonderful candy bar and been adapted to countless TV shows and movies and stage plays, tells the stories of the swashbuckling and heroic young adventurer D'Artagnan and his companions Athos, Aramis, and Porthos. Now, in a remarkable find, the skeleton of the real-life French soldier who was the inspiration behind the story has been found in the Netherlands. The discovery was completely accidental and happened during repair work on the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul in the Dutch city of Maastricht. The man himself, whose real name was Charles de Batz Castlemore, had been a musketeer for King Louis XIV and was killed when he was shot in the throat during the siege of Maastricht in 1673.
Indiana Jones was not wrong. Gun beats sword.
Ain't wrong about that, brother. For years, his final resting place had remained a complete mystery. Well, guess what? It ain't anymore. A section of the floor in the church had subsided, and during the repair work, we discovered a skeleton. Deacon Jos Valky told L1 News. It's spelled very funnily. He laid buried under the altar in consecrated ground. There was a French coin from that time in the grave, and the bullet that killed him was lying at chest level, exactly as described in the history books. The indications are very strong. Efforts are now underway to confirm the discovery by way of DNA testing. They had DNA way back in 1673?
The DNA was always in the bones.
I'm surprised they had DNA testing way back then. Well, good luck to them then. Maury will show up and go, "You are the corpse." Fun.
Well, if you believe the ancient Sumerians, then, at least Inky and LL, they were dealing with DNA and humans and humanids and creating us little violent murder monkeys.
Oh, fun.
Fun.
And finally today, no, not finally. I'm sorry. We have one more after this. I'm sorry. I lied. Marks in Pompeii may be evidence of an ancient Roman machine gun. Hey, now we're talking.
What?
Yeah. Now we're cooking with gas.
Gun beats sword.
Right, gun beats sword. A particularly deadly weapon may have once been employed by the Roman army during the siege of Pompeii. It's certainly an interesting thought exercise to imagine what the Romans could have achieved if they had invented firearms. But while they never developed gunpowder weapons, they likely did have access to at least one early example of a repeating mechanical weapon. In a new study, researchers examined curious marks found on walls in the ruins of Pompeii, the ancient Roman town that was destroyed and covered in ash after the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. These small square-shaped impact marks were thought to be a good match for a weapon known as a polybolos, essentially a repeating device capable of firing dart-like projectiles one after the other. In particular, the pattern of the marks seemed to point to the use of such a device. Described as a sort of primitive machine gun, this ferocious weapon would have seemed particularly daunting to the town's defenders, who would have likely never seen anything like it before. It was originally an ancient Greek invention devised by Dionysius of Alexandria. The marks on the wall don't seem to match any other known projectiles used at that time, though it is important to emphasize that it hasn't been conclusively proven that they were made by a polybolos. Even so, the study emphasizes the sheer ingenuity of the people from this time and shows that even without gunpowder, physics can produce some seriously impressive weapons.
That's pretty damn cool.
That is.
You just imagine, fucking Greek Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jesse Ventura sitting there. Just
thinking stuff out.
I
got you. I got you.
You will submit to Caesar.
We'll leave you with a conspiracy theory today, and then we'll do our palate cleanser. Where do you fall as far as microplastics? Do you believe your balls are full of microplastics?
Yeah, probably. Look, I mean, I grew up on government cheese and welfare, and so I am about as I am 70% chemicals at this point, 100%. Yeah.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
Let me fill you in on a little something. There's a conspiracy theory out there.
Oh, I love it.
You ready for this?
My nipples are so hard. Go for it, Daddy.
It has to do with the microplastics crisis. Could gloves be contaminating our findings? Oh, you ready? Oh, did I intrigue you, Daddy? Recent research has taught us that microplastics are everywhere, but just how accurate are these studies? Yeah. One of the biggest environmental concerns raised in recent years is the sheer extent of microplastic contamination in our oceans and our water supplies and our food and pretty much everywhere else. Scientists have been proposing that when these microplastics get into our bodies, they can cause various health problems and may increase our risk of cancer and other diseases. Now, though, a new study has somewhat thrown a spanner in the works by highlighting what seems to be a fundamental flaw common to a large percentage of studies into microplastics. According to researchers at the University of Michigan, the lab gloves used during the majority of these studies may themselves be covered in microplastics that can contaminate the samples to the tune of 2,000 false positive signals per square millimeter. That's a problem. This means that the findings of these studies may suggest much higher levels than are actually there. The type of contact we tried to mimic touches upon all varieties of microplastics research, said study lead author Madeline Clow. If you're contacting a sample with a gloved hand, you are likely imparting these sterrates that could overestimate your results. That said, this doesn't mean that there are no microplastics at all in the samples. We may be overestimating microplastics, but there should be none, said study co-author Ann McNeil. There's still a lot out there, and that's the problem. So we're not saying there's no microplastics out there and that, our balls aren't filled to the brim with microplastics. There might be half our balls full of microplastics. But these samples might be tainted because of the rubber gloves we're using.
I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole further when we're done with this, because what do you want to bet? That researcher works for Big Plastic. What do you want to bet? This is just like big tobacco, where at first the research starts coming out, but then they hire their own researchers to go counter those arguments to this and that. And what if this is just Big Plastic trying to save themselves?
You may be right, because look at the girl they put in the article to try and sway me.
Tap to see girls online. Get your girls at fanfills.com.
I think they were trying to sway me from Celeste, but they'll never do it. They'll never do it.
You'll never do it. You are a Celeste only type of guy.
That's right. All right, it's time now for our palate cleanser before we get out of here today. And it's simply this. You too can take home an animal from the wild and make it your own.
Raccoon.
I know you're voting for a raccoon here.
I want a raccoon so bad. Like, I'd give away 2 of my children for a raccoon.
Really? For a raccoon?
I want a raccoon so bad. They're so naughty and mischievous.
They're full of rabies, though.
Yeah, but they have opposable thumbs and they can get into shit.
Oh.
They can open cupboards and get themselves milkies and snacks.
If you ever need one to break you out of jail, I suppose.
Yeah. Want to train an army of raccoons.
I may have a suitable replacement. One that was on the loose after a Wisconsin petting zoo escape. One, I think, sir, you would appreciate having around the house because you could get in a bar fight and it'll defend you.
Is it a Joey?
It's
blurry. It's blurry. It's a Joey.
It's a Joey.
I mean, yeah, dude, they love to scrap, dude.
Yeah. We're talking about a kangaroo. That's right. A kangaroo was on the loose this week in Wisconsin, and it could have been yours.
It's not far away, Tim.
I know.
Did they capture it?
I think they did. Authorities in Wisconsin's Juneau County are asking local residents to be on the lookout. This was a few days ago. I think they might have caught it by now. For a kangaroo that escaped from a petting zoo. All I got to say is mine, you're never getting it back. The Juneau County Sheriff's Office said in a Facebook post that the kangaroo named Chesney, as in Kenny Chesney, pulled a full-on prison break from Sunshine Farm in Necedah on Wednesday. So look up Necedah, Wisconsin, Chesney, and see if it's been captured. Only in Wisconsin, they found him.
Yep, March 28th.
Damn it. Only in Wisconsin will we wake up to, have you seen this kangaroo? The post said. The sheriff's office shared a photo of Chesney clad in a denim diaper. Oh, now see, a kangaroo in a denim diaper. Come on. How cute is that?
Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian tuxedo for right. But the petting zoo said the marsupial was not wearing it when he escaped. So he just took his diaper off, dude. He was like, fuck this, I'm out of here, and stripped off the denim diaper and left. His little kangaroo pee flapping in the breeze. He's like, I'm free, dude, to do what I want any old time, to quote the song. And he was just, his flapper was flapping in the breeze, and he was probably jerking his gherkin, and
he had his little Chesney nuts.
that's right, his little Chesney
nuts.
Flapping, cheese nuts, right? He's just flapping in the breeze. A follow-up post Friday morning says Chesney was on the loose. He's not. Rev says they found him, but was spotted by a drone team Thursday night. Kangaroo appears to be hanging around the same general area, so he's not lost. He got free of the zoo and didn't know what to do. He was like, okay, now where do I go, dude? All the food is there.
It says, let's see, the missing kangaroo in Wisconsin named Chesney was found safe and returned home on Saturday, March 28th, 2026. The kangaroo was located near a search vehicle in Nita, Wisconsin, after a 3-day search involving thermal drones.
3 days? It took them 3 days to find the thing, and it was just hanging around the zoo?
3 days. Using thermal drones.
Damn. I have a feeling like they really didn't want him back. They were kind of like, I suppose we got to go get this thing sooner or later.
And then we got to put a fucking denim diaper back on this asshole. He's going to fight us.
Yeah, the entire time. I'm going to get my ass knocked out.
Last time I had a broken orbital socket trying to get that fucking denim diaper on him. It's bullshit.
I don't get paid enough, man.
I get paid $13.50 an hour. This fucking bullshit. I could work at Burger King and get more for this shit.
It's Wisconsin. They don't even make $13.50 an hour. It's probably $9.50 an hour at the zoo.
It smells like dog shit and fucking.
Dude, I don't even get Packer tickets to do this shit, man.
Last time I fed that asshole, I got lice. This is fucking bullshit.
I will just take the fucking kangaroo to the bar with me.
Oh, dude, that'd be so fucking cool. I don't even like bar scenes anymore, but that would be cool as shit. I would take a Joey to a bar. hey, Chesney, see that asshole over there? He's fucking eyeing you up, man. He's talking shit about your denim diaper.
Punch his ass out.
Just start squaring up with people.
Square up with him, yeah. See that guy over there? You fucked my girl like 20 years ago. Go fuck him up, dude.
Use your tail, man.
Use your tail. Now, see, that's a pet I can get behind. I mean, I wouldn't get behind him. Only if someone were trying to square up with me, then I'd get behind him. I'd be like, Chesney, take care of him. See? Our second animal you could have that's in the wild. Now, this is one of my all-time favorites right here. Say hello to my little friend.
What is that? I can't tell if that's an otter or a red panda.
It's a monkey.
It's a monkey. Okay, the camera was just super blurry with the focus. Is
it
a little rhesus monkey? What kind of monkey is that?
Little diaper wearing monkey. He tried to enter a Michigan home. Yeah, I know, right?
Dude, just open the window. Let him in.
I just totally let him in. If a monkey came up to my front door and was like, and knocked on the door, he would have a forever home right then.
Yeah, free reign.
Yep. Animal control officers were called to a Michigan home where some pussy wouldn't let them stay. That's just me saying that. That's an editorial.
Fucking Karens. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Karens. Where a diaper-wearing monkey appeared on the porch and attempted to get into the house. I would have just let him in. Yeah. We got plenty of food.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Here's the Roku remote, dude. You want to watch Miss Rachel? Like, what's up?
That's right. And then let me make you something to eat. I'll order in a high chair from Walmart Plus.
Yeah.
Make yourself at home.
You want some Grubhub? What are we doing, guy? You want some birthday cake? It's not even your birthday, but we'll get some birthday cake. It's cool.
Nanners and birthday cake, and we'll go, man. It's me and you. Let's figure out what your name is. We'll get you a new name. Well,
But it can't be Celeste.
no, let's not make it Celeste. That'll be weird. Um, but man, you and me, dude. You and me. By the way, I'm gonna introduce you to the chipmunk in the garage. Her name is Spud. You guys are gonna be best of friends.
You- the monkey gets the centaur robot, attaches it on,
Oh my god.
and Spud's getting on the
Spud gets a ride on the centaur. That would be the best. Oh my god, I'd have my own little circus at home.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, you've given me an idea. A recording of a dispatcher contacting Saginaw County Animal Care and Control confirmed a 911 call. Somebody called 911 on a monkey. I want to kick them firmly in the balls.
Take this person's adult card away.
Yep.
Immediately.
The call came in at 1 p.m. Wednesday from a St. Charles resident in Michigan.
That's got to be fucking HOA or something.
Okay. Dispatcher said in a recording, caller has a monkey wearing a diaper that's on their porch trying to get inside their house. We'll let him in. I guess it belongs to their new neighbors, they said.
What was the neighborhood? What did they say it was?
They didn't say a St. Charles resident, St. Charles, Michigan. Officers arrived to find the female spider monkey. It was a spider monkey, female spider monkey named Brazil. Had already returned to its home next door. Oh, it lived next door. Well, then it's a neighbor. Why would you Why would you call the cops on the neighbor monkey? Why wouldn't you let him in for a nanner?
Bro. Fact checking about this city, this little town. It's a small village. A small village.
Well, then you should know your neighbors and know your neighbor monkey.
Their population is only 1,500.
Oh my God, you should know the neighbor.
There's no way she didn't know her neighbor had a fucking monkey.
Right.
She hates her neighbor.
She does hate her neighbor. SCACC director Rachel Horton, who sounds like a Karen already, said officers made contact with the owner and observed Brazil inside the house. She said the monkey appeared healthy, active, and well cared for. Well, then why did you call the cops?
She's a Karen. Yeah.
Authorities confirmed Brazil's owner was the same woman who brought a squirrel monkey into the Bay County court facility in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Monkey was inside the woman's purse when she put it through the X-ray scanner. Oh God, that's so cute.
But then he also got radiation from that. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Michigan does not have any laws prohibiting monkeys as pets. Way to go, Michigan. St. Charles does not have any local ordinances limiting primate ownership. We love you for that, St. Charles.
Tim, do you want to move?
I think I do. I want to move to St. Charles, Michigan, and own a fleet of monkeys.
Yeah, we can get a gang of raccoons and a fleet of monkeys and a Joey that we can get drunk and liquored up and start fights. This could be great. Like we could start our own criminal syndicate with the raccoons. They could go out and just like steal shit for us. We'd have all the Pop-Tarts that we'd want.
You know what though? We got to turn this into a turnkey money making operation. Bum fights with Joeys.
Yes. Where they could tag team the spider monkey to jump in on their back and
Spider Monkey is the referee. Spider Monkey is a referee. He rings the bell.
This could be good.
Tell me that's not the cutest thing ever. The Spider Monkey rings the bell and he right?
Yeah, so that's the attraction to Trailer Park 6. So we have Trailer Park 6, and then in the back we have the backyard wrestling / bar fights with the Joey.
Fights with Joeys. Yeah.
Oh,
Bum fights with Joeys. Spider monkeys are the refs, right?
This is our $1 billion a year. Like I'm just saying, like if this world ends up going to total shit hits the fan, and we're in like this dystopian, we're doing this.
Like a Mad Max apocalypse.
Yep.
This is our moneymaker.
Trailer Park 6 and Joey fights, dude. We're fucking doing it. We're gonna be eating like kings.
Oh, I'm telling you. It'll be a good day every day.
All of the Darkness Radio army can be there to help defend it.
That's right. all you, our Darkness Radio family, you will be our family under the roof of Trailer Park 6.
Some of you may be thrown in the ring from time to time for entertainment.
You might have to fight a Joey. We're not going to lie. You might have to fight a Joey. But you'll be well taken care of. If you can chew something afterwards.
If you bribe the Reese's monkey.
That's right. Spider monkey. It's a spider.
Yeah.
Or it might be a capuchin. I like capuchins too. So
yeah. Or the radioactive squirrel monkey that was in the person.
The radioactive squirrel monkey that was in Michigan. Right. Brazil. Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, there's that. All right, folks, on tomorrow's show, no radioactive spider monkeys, no bum fights with Joeys. But it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show. Nonetheless, no Shen Yun. But I'll tell you this much. We still got a good program on the way. Nancy Frecka will be with us. Nancy Frecka, who, by the way, has had a near-death experience, so it does tie into today.
Nice. I mean, not nice for her, but I mean, yeah.
Well, I'm sure. But she's also a woman of God who has had a near-death experience, and she'll also tell us how she's reconciled being a woman of God who has had near-death experiences.
Were there potholes involved?
No, there's no potholes. I don't know how you got those two mixed up.
Leave it to me.
Oh, there's no potholes involved there. No. But Nancy is a unique blend of pastor, award-winning businesswoman whose spiritual path has led her to become an author, speaker, ordained pastor with Messenger Fellowship International Ministry. Nancy's been on television and radio. Her purpose is to help others learn that the juice of life is trusting God. Nancy lives in Northeast Ohio with her husband, John. And she's learned that God exists through having these near-death experiences. So,
right on, Nancy.
Yeah. So we'll talk to Nancy tomorrow about her near-death experiences and how her faith was strengthened by having these near-death experiences. So that's on tomorrow's show. And she actually talked to God, I believe, in these near-death experiences.
Did he say anything about like
the bump
shall not have bum fights with Joeys?
No, they're perfectly okay. He gave the thumbs up.
Okay, well then we're good. All right.
Yeah, he actually said we can apply for the license right after the show.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're good. No, we're totally good. Yeah. Yep. He said, "Start." It was almost like he sent down 5 more commandments on a tablet. Thou shalt build the trailer park 6. Get the construction permit going. Thou shalt find the animals, and thou shalt round up the bums. I believe were the first 3 commandments.
Thou shalt construct the trailer park 6. It shall be 10 cubits in height. Sniffer's row shall be 3 rods in length.
Oh, no, God. You did not put Sniffer's row in a commandment. Oh, what's wrong with you?
Oh, God. Every time, dude, I gotta try to like get kicked off.
Boy, you just came so close. Thou shalt hire Celeste as the madam. All right, that'll do it for today. Nancy Frecka tomorrow on the big program. Say goodbye, Rev.
Goodbye. Forehead smoochies.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, by the way, before we leave you, Jelly Bean and Julia is your sponsor today. Check them out. Coon Rapids Boulevard, Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Friday, smoked prime rib dinner. It's amazing with the tequila berry salad. I'm telling you, folks. Check out their website, jellybeanandjulias.com. The Apple app is updated. check out your devices. Check out the new app or the new updated app. Download the update right now. And go get your Darkness Radio swag and your True Crime Tuesday swag. Support the show. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. For Nancy Frecka, for Combat Rev, Travis Thorpe, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for watching and listening. The best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio.
For more audio and video archives of the show, intriguing content, fun events, and cool swag, check out darknessradioshow.com. The executive producer of Darkness Radio is Troy Palmer. If you enjoyed today's program, please make sure you like and subscribe. This videocast is copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this videocast, including audio, video, descriptions, or accounts of today's show, is prohibited without the consent of Darkness Radio Management. Thank you for watching. And be sure to tune in tomorrow for Supernatural Encounters with God with Nancy Frecka.